new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
Oh, welcome in. It's that time again. What a great weekend. What a great weekend. It's Beck's Banter live on North American Talk Radio, Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday Night Football is ahead. It's that time of year again, folks. Our first Monday Night Football game. I'm excited. I hope you are. Bears, Vikings, JJ Williams, excuse me, a little verklempt. Interested to see how J.J. McCarthy does. But before we get into it, this is Beck's Banter, North American Talk Radio. Hopefully I'm not too low energy. It's been a busy day. And, not the most prepared today, but, there's a lot of college and pro football I want to talk. We had a big weekend. Top 25 had some surprises. It shook things up in the standings. And then we had some crazy things in the NFL. But before we get into that, you can listen to North American Talk Radio on our website, natalkradio.com or .us. Simple Radio, Streama, radio.net. The replays are on Spotify and YouTube at North American Talk Radio. Now, if you're listening on YouTube, I apologize that the new little wrinkle with the tiny little camera angle there turned her on right before the show and didn't come on. I don't know why, but I'm not going to fuss with it while we're live, so we'll just wait till tomorrow to get that back up and running. But this is a radio show, so you don't need to see me. You can participate, though. You can text 330-800-4219 if you want to participate, or we have a chat function on the website. I guess I should open that up just in case somebody chats. I can see them. But anyway, we're going to get into it. NFL, NCAA. I'm going to start in the NCAA ranks. Now, you had some of the, that was supposed to happen. Ohio State beat Grambling 70-0. I mean, even I talked about it on Thursday. Even the Grambling coach saw that coming, right? He said, at least we have a good band. Which it actually was cool after the game. The two bands stayed well after the game. Some fans lingered to watch the show. And that's what I used to love about college. All right? And I still do. I mean, places still do it here and there. But it's become so hypersensitive and money-focused that you miss sometimes those moments where the bands stay well after the game. And play, some impromptu songs together. It was cool to see. But you had those where the teams that were supposed to do something. Now, Penn State, number 2 in the nation. Folks, they only held a 10-0 lead at halftime against Florida International. So maybe some signs of weakness for Penn State. I apologize for my clearing the throat. I didn't think they were overwhelming against Nevada. And then Florida International, seemingly same. I mean, again, they've won both their games over, but it was 10-0 a half. They really poured it on in the second half, 24-0. That wasn't really the surprise, though. You had LSU with kind of a vanilla win over Louisiana Tech, 23-7. Georgia, 28-6 over Austin Peay. That's a crazy score in my eyes. And they didn't overwhelm people really. I mean, Marshall, they took their foot off the gas. I don't know, man. They only scored 7 each quarter. It was only 14-3 at half. 21-6 going to the fourth. Crazy stuff. we're going to Clemson and Troy, are you kidding me? Clemson was losing 16-3 at halftime, folks. Clemson to Troy, 16-3 at half. A 17-point third quarter completely saved their season. I don't know that they should even be in the top 10 after that. We'll look at the rankings here soon. Illinois looked like they were on upset alert in the first half against Duke. They poured it on. Mississippi State upsets Arizona State. Okay, we got a guy on this station that said Arizona State was his favorite to win their conference. Kansas State was voted the favorite to win the conference. Both teams have a loss now early in the season. No, but the big one, well, you can argue the big one was Michigan-Oklahoma. I called that last week with my co-host. I saw Oklahoma being the favorite and getting pushed over the edge by being the home team. The big one, though, South Florida and Florida. Now, we're talking about a South Florida team that has now beaten number 25 Boise State 34-7. And I say beaten, I say that lightly. I mean, that's an understatement. And then they beat in the swamp, Florida, 18-16. I saw somebody tweet out, this might not be too far-fetched. I mean, it is. But if South Florida beats Miami of Florida, number 5 in the nation, they should probably immediately be catapulted into the top 5. And that's another thing. I'm a little underprepared, so I don't know the lady's name, but people were calling out an AP voter. There's a female AP voter. I can't think of her name. She has Florida only dropping one spot to 14 and didn't vote South Florida into the top 25. That is a crime. Where do these people get their credentials to have a vote? She had Florida at 14. They were 13. That whole going through it's about Ohio State to bring up I the not rivals, along with several others, Michigan, Penn State. But you remember last Thursday, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I talked about the war of words between Lanning and Gundy about Nike and Gundy accusing Oregon of paying for good teams as if they're the only team that's doing it. I mean, come on, Mike Gundy's the mullet. Like, he acted like that was preposterous to think that teams are paying for their roster. I don't know where he's been the last few years. But there was a lot of back and forth between the two coaches. Lanning said Gundy doesn't pay for his roster because he wants to have an excuse lingering around when they don't play well. Well, it's excuse time. Oregon took them behind the shed and waxed them 69-3, folks. Nice. It was 41-3 at half, and Oregon's like, we're not happy yet. They scored 28 more in the third and then called the dogs off. Holy cow. So, I mean, the cream is rising to the top a little bit in college football, but you do have those teams like, man, you really question. So Clemson dropped to 12. The biggest drop was Michigan, which seems harsh. They played at Oklahoma. When you see Clemson struggle to get Clemson, let's put it this way. Clemson struggled against Troy. An 11-point win against Troy as Clemson seems a lot worse than an 11-point loss for Michigan at Oklahoma. Currently the number 13 team in the nation. So I don't know, man. Iowa State's up there, top 15. They're 3-0, but they don't have a potent offense. I feel like it's going to be wide open this year. I feel like. And I hate to break it to some of you people that hate the Big Ten. I think they currently clearly have the two best teams in the nation. But again, as I always say every season, there is a lot of football to be played yet. So we don't want to jump the gun. We don't want to make, overreactions early in the season like I've been, getting upset over people. But we'll see. Notre Dame 0-1 top 10. So there you go. I love it. We didn't have huge games. I mean, we had some decent games. Now, coming up this week, we got some conference games kicking in. It starts Friday. Not conference games, but Indiana. I think Indiana will be out of the top 25 and 4 or 5 losses by the end of the season. Oregon Northwestern opens up Big Ten play. Clemson, Georgia Tech start the ACC. Wisconsin, Alabama is the big noon game. I'm looking forward to that one. Wisconsin's 2-0, but if I run down 17-0 against Miami of Ohio and 42-10 against Middle Tennessee. So Oklahoma bounced back in a big way against a cupcake. But I think we're going to find out what Oklahoma's made of when they play Wisconsin at noon Saturday. Yeah, they beat Louisiana Monroe, 73-0. Wisconsin's got a legit D now. All right, Michigan, they get to play Central Michigan. Let's see if there's any other big games. Georgia, Tennessee, I know game day is going there. A lot of people were upset about that because it's, they say they pick SEC and Big Ten teams all the time when they could have went to South Florida and Miami. South Florida is now ranked 18th. If you heard me earlier say they're not ranked, I just meant there was one AP voter that didn't think they were worthy of being ranked. And then Ohio U, with their big for them win over West Virginia, travels to the Shoe to breed. They're going to be brought back into reality. And then I'm sure a lot of people were upset, but Florida LSU was cooking to be something big till Florida lost to South Florida. The nightcap, Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Remember, Notre Dame's win on the road at Texas A&M last year kind of catapulted them. And I think that win last year for Notre Dame at Texas A&M is what got voters over the Northern Illinois loss. Had they lost that one, obviously they wouldn't have been in the playoffs. So there you go. That was college football, kind of my half reaction. The reason that's a half react, not a full react, is holy cow, did the NFL bust into the season in a big way. A big way. You had the Bills with that epic comeback. Epic comeback last night. I'm going to call it. The Chiefs got beat in Brazil. I mean, what a week one. And then you had Lamar. Please don't suspend him. He's my fantasy quarterback. But Lamar shoves a Bills fan. Now, did the fan shove first? Yes. Players got to know better. Right? You're a multimillionaire. Just walk away, let the guy get arrested. Now, the guy's banned from all Bills games, but you could be facing a huge fine and a suspension. Just let it go. Everybody in the stadium knows you'd whoop his ass. He's a drunk idiot. So, double whammy for the Ravens because they may lose. No word yet. I haven't seen any kind of headlines of what's going to happen. Harbaugh did defend Jackson, of course. I mean, of course he's going to. But, the fan was indefinitely banned. So you're happy to see that from all Bills and NFL stadiums. He was ejected too, so. But I'm reading here Adam Schefter. Apparently the fan shoved DeAndre Hopkins, and then Lamar got him back. So Harbaugh said, we want our guys to celebrate with one another. That's the whole idea. I guess I didn't know you're not allowed to go close to the stands to do that without being attacked by a fan. You score a touchdown, you probably shouldn't have frozen water bottle thrown at you either. Oof, I didn't know about that one. That's dangerous. And then Harbaugh continued, I don't know how any of us would respond in that moment. I think it'd be something. We'd probably be thinking about protecting ourselves. Yeah, it's not like, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, Lamar didn't punch anybody. He could have. If they're throwing frozen water bottles at players, and that's grounds for an ass kicking. Excuse my language. But that was the big note to end week 1 there with the shove. The other big note was, holy cow, what a game that was. And the Bills outscore the Ravens 22-6 in the fourth. Of course, some of that was bolstered by a Derrick Henry fumble when the Ravens were feeling pretty good about their situation. Derrick Henry did have 169 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. But a key fumble led to the Bills' comeback. Excuse me. And Josh Allen, what a game. Almost 400 yards passing, a quarterback rating of 112. James Cook, a preseason camp holdout, 13 carries, 44 yards. But I want to give a shout out to Keon Coleman. 112 yards. 112 yards. Drafted in 24, round 2, pick 33 out of Florida State. What a game. What a game. And he, last year only had 13 catches, or I'm sorry, that's games played, 29 catches, 556 yards. He's already produced a fifth, of what he did last year in game 1. So what a game there. That was exciting. I have to vent because I am a Browns fan, Northeast Ohio. Only the Browns would cut a guy that's been their kicker for a few years and then see the guy they chose over the guy they cut miss an extra point, which was key. I remember texting my buddy, I think that's going to come back to haunt us. That really didn't even haunt us. What haunted us is then he misses a 40-some yarder that could have been the game winner, we think. I mean, the Bengals would have had time to try to get something. But 4 points left on the sideline by the Browns because, again, they can't kick field goals. And I saw a crazy stat about Stefanski. In one-score games where there's no missed field goals, he's got like a 80% win percentage. In one-score games, or 1 point, might have been 1 point games, where there is a missed extra point or field goal, I mean, his record is abysmal, 20% area. So the Browns keep on Browns, and that was the meme on social media today. The Browns be Browns, and I saw this was one of my favorite. This was one of my favorite memes. It's from reflog_18. Reflog, that's golfer backwards. He's a social media influencer. It was a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer with the TV scene, making his captors watch a horror movie. But this caption said, after watching the Browns miss a game-winning field goal, now you get to watch Baker Mayfield orchestrate a game-winning fourth quarter drive. So, yeah, it's just extra torture for Browns fans. So good for Baker, though. He had 5 carries, 39 yards, too. You don't think of him like that anymore. 99.3 rating. So, anyway, Buccaneers win. That was a good game. Let's go through a few more. I'm just pissed about my Browns. Oh, that's the one I wanted to talk about. Colts-Dolphins. Colts just They jumped all over the Dolphins early, 20-0 at half. Of course, Jonathan Taylor couldn't punch one in for me. But after the game, we had some talk. I mean, it's an article now in major places, but we had a couple tweets from reporters that said former Dolphins cornerback Xavier Howard, talking about Tua, he's now with the Colts, we knew that he gets the ball out pretty quick. And once we take away his first read, the quick read, it's panic mode after that for him, and it showed. And I thought, that's interesting. Two things. One, I always feel like that's what Kyler Murray does too. Some of these quarterbacks, if that first read's not ready, they're running all over the place. But then I thought, I wonder if teams look at the schedule ahead before they make trades. I mean, maybe they couldn't prevent Xavier Howard from going to Indianapolis, their first game of the season, but that's smart by the Colts to kind of lean on a guy that's played on the same team as Tua, and it worked. I mean, he looked confused and out of sorts early in that game. He really did. And he was 14 of 23, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And he only had 7 yards rushing on 1 carry. I think the big news, though, in that game was just how lights out Daniel Jones played. Lights out. And I know people that have been saying Daniel Jones's problem has always been he played for the Giants. Well, he was 22 of 29, 272 yards and a touchdown. That's a 115.9 quarterback rating. I'd love to see what his best game was with the Giants. That seems like he just played his best game of his career. I could be wrong. So good for Daniel Jones. I mean, his old team still doing their own thing, 21-6. They got shut down by the Commanders. But the other big story that I want to go into is Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, if you watch that game, you can see he's much slower than he used to be, right? Not nearly as mobile as he used to be. But my goodness, did he put on a show. 136.7 quarterback rating. It's the highest for the Steelers since week 7 of Ben Roethlisberger's last season. He had 244 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Again, he got sacked 4 times, but my gosh, he's like 40 years old, isn't he? He's not as fast. You young guys, he's 41. You young guys, I play tennis on Wednesdays and Fridays. I've lost a step. There's balls I used to be able to get to 10 years ago that I can't now. So there you go. Cam Ward, I thought he looked decent in his debut. I mean, the numbers aren't going to show that. 12 of 28, but there was some drops, man. There was some drops by that team. They let him down. Not great. Not great by any means. Only 112 yards. No interceptions, though. Sacked 6 times. That's more of a testament to the line because he's fast. But this is gonna be an interesting season, man. I know you have your typicals. The Chiefs. Obviously, the Chargers are going to be good, right? You have your typicals. But there's some teams on the cusp of doing something good this season. I mean, the Bills are good. The Ravens are good. Obviously, that could be a preview of the AFC Championship. But I love it. I love the action. What a great opening week. It culminates tonight. You got the rookie versus the sophomore, Caleb Williams, J.J. McCarthy. Let's see how J.J. McCarthy does. High hopes for that young man. That's for sure. They have high hopes in Minnesota. And, of course, Caleb Williams, he's got to prove something now. All right, so it'll be a great ending, I think, to a great opening week in the NFL. And that's my opening monologue. Holy cow, it's 7:24. I love football, if you couldn't tell. Hopefully you're loving this show. Sorry, a little low energy, a little tired today. Okay, been busy. I had a late night Saturday night. We're not going to go into that. But a little tired. We're going to come back. Top-selling NFL jerseys going into the season. Might surprise you. Alcaraz and Sinner. Not the way some people thought it would go, but I'm going to break down why it went the way you should have thought it was going to go. And then F1 place swapping. We'll talk about that when we come back. Beck's Banter live on North American Talk Radio Monday evening. It's been getting chilly at night. Woo boy, bundle up. We'll be back for the second half of the show.
Want tickets for less while helping grassroots radio? Well, at North American Talk Radio, we've partnered with a top ticketing platform to give our listeners the best prices to all the best events. Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Are you ready to place bets? Join MyBookie today and discover exciting opportunities. North American Talk Radio has partnered with the cutting-edge gambling platform to offer unique bets, several ways to play and win, and you can even use crypto to play. MyBookie offers a seamless platform for all your gambling needs, and MyBookie has you covered with a vast array of options. Explore their different markets and bet types. There's something for everyone. Discover MyBookie's special introductory offer by using North American Talk Radio's special promo code, which is 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, and you'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie offers a thrilling experience, so sign up today and be sure to use the promo code 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, for huge cash bonuses. Get in the game and good luck.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
We're back. Beck's Banter live. North American Talk Radio. natalkradio.com or .us. Simple Radio, Streama, radio.net. And obviously YouTube if you're watching / listening that way. Thanks for coming back Monday evening, September 8th. The year is flying by. It's feeling like fall at night. A little breaking news while I went to the break. It looks like the 49ers, they squeaked by the Seahawks. And it might be a key win in the long run, but they have lost probably their quarterback for a week and, their star tight end, Brock Purdy, had some injuries to his left shoulder and toe. He's probably uncertain for next week, it sounds like, against the Saints. And then George Kittle has damaged his hamstring. And it sounds like he may land on injured reserve. So you fantasy owners, got to love that, right? What you could love if you're a player and you're on this list is the top-selling NFL jerseys to start the season. And I said you might be surprised by one on the list because he's a third stringer. The fifth most sold NFL jersey is Shedeur Sanders, and he's a third stringer. I wish they had that stat somewhere, right? Who sold the most jerseys as a third stringer entering their rookie season? Maybe some people could have beaten that. Number 1 is Saquon. Number 2 is his teammate, Jalen Hurts. Those Philadelphia fans are really scooping up the jerseys. Jaden Daniels of the Commanders and Josh Allen of the Bills is the top 4. Shedeur 5th, obviously. So, cool stuff there. Yeah. All right. I said that Alcaraz and Sinner, maybe you didn't expect things to go the way they went. I'm going to break something down to you folks. Okay. Now I was thinking going into the U.S. Open, Jannik Sinner's been looking pretty unbeatable. All right, pretty unbeatable. But you have to keep in mind, Carlos Alcaraz is 10-5 against Jannik Sinner. All right, before Sinner won Wimbledon, Carlos Alcaraz had a 5-match win streak over Jannik Sinner. That 5-match win streak is since last season. It's not like over the span of 10 years. If you look at the breakdown, Sinner won twice in 2022 against Alcaraz. Twice. So Alcaraz is 9-3 against Sinner since the U.S. Open in 2022, which was the same. That was a quarterfinal matchup between those two in the U.S. Open. So Carlos Alcaraz actually has been kind of dominating Jannik Sinner. And Jannik Sinner was the favorite in that. So obviously the odds makers were going by the hot hand, but that match was not even fun. I had it on the main screen, or no, I had it on second screen. I was watching the red zone. 6-2, 3-6, 6-1, 6-4. It was domination. And J.J. McCarthy taking the field against the Bears. They kick off here, I think, 45 minutes. Looking forward to that one on a Monday night. Yeah, 45 minutes. But yeah, Alcaraz, unbelievable. This kid's only 22. I mean, Sinner's only 24. But my God, he's now ranked number one, rightfully so. I mean, year to date, he's 61-6. Sinner's 37-5. Remember, Sinner took some time off. I don't know if his doping scandal. Okay, yeah, he was probably just coming off his doping scandal and then won Wimbledon. So he's been playing a lot less than Alcaraz. He took some time off too for rest since Wimbledon. But yeah, that's not a surprise. I think a lot of people acted surprised. It's not really a surprise. Alcaraz moves to 270-62 in his career. Sinner 300 wins, 85 losses. Alcaraz has more titles, 23-20. Prize money, I think they're both doing well. I don't think they need to, go to the bargain bin. Alcaraz has won $53.5 million. That's prize money, folks, not even sponsorships. And Sinner is just shy of $49 million. So there you go. U.S. Open was good stuff. Of course, I kind of have a beef with a lot of things that were going on at the U.S. Open. Apparently, our president decided to go. I don't know if that was pre-planned or not, but I wasn't happy about the fact that President Trump showing up at the U.S. Open caused the match to start about 25 minutes late. Look, man, you're the president. You can probably go wherever you want, but these guys get mentally and physically prepared for a 3 p.m. start, and then they're either sitting around tightening up or they're, getting loose a little extra time might wear them out. I don't like it. You get mentally prepared for 3 p.m. You want to start at 3 p.m. They shut the whole place down to get them in there with the Secret Service and everything. So I don't know what the arrangement was, but it would have been nice to see if the president would have made a better effort, to get in without delaying the start of the match. I don't like that. I've been on the athlete side. The unexpected delay is annoying sometimes, and probably more so in individual sports. I've never played competitively. I mean, I play tennis competitive right now, but it's not the same level. And then on the other side, the USTA, I mean, I'm not a big boycott guy. That's the organization I play under, USTA. But for them, they demanded that the TV networks refrain from talking about it, airing any cheering for the president. It's like, what are we doing? Man, we went the full scope of the U.S. Open. We're watching it. We love the sport. Like, why are we trying to hide things here? First of all, it cracks me up that these organizations do this, right? They tell the TV networks, like, we don't want any focus on the president being there or cheering or booing for him. Does the USTA realize we see everything in real time anyway? 10-15% of the crowd's got their phones out live streaming. We already know what's going on. So why try to hide it behind the scenes? And we're going to find out you're trying to hide it too. That's the silly thing. So I don't know, man. I'm not going to boycott them. I'm going to keep playing, but man, I don't like that stuff. It's shady. Because you wouldn't do it. And if it was the other way around, I'm not taking a side politically. I'm just saying if you did it on the other side, if Biden went to the last U.S. Open and they said the same thing, I'd be just as upset. Like, what are we hiding? Everybody, it seems like everybody's on social media. We're going to know about it 2 minutes after he shows up and, they shut down the lines and they suspend the match. We're going to know. What are you hiding it for? You just look bad. When you try to hide it, you look bad. So, the USTA, yet another organization that didn't really think through that whole thing. But hey, what are you going to do? Like I said, I'm not going to boycott them. I want to play tennis, so whatever. I just think it's silly. What's also silly is apparently, I'm going to pull this up. McLaren, who's having a really good season, I'm going to pull up the standings here because I don't know what they're trying to do, but I'll get to this. Trust me. Results, team standings. McLaren leads, by a landslide. McLaren leads by there's 617 overall team points. Ferrari's next at 280. It's not even close. All right? And both their drivers are at top of the standings. They're going to unseat Max Verstappen. You got Oscar Piastri in first. He's a McLaren driver. And Lando Norris in second. He's a McLaren driver. So that kind of makes you confused of what they're doing. Even Max Verstappen laughed at the latest implementation of McLaren's papaya rules. That's in quotation. At Sunday's Italian Grand Prix. And a lot of people were confused. Piastri, who leads the World Championship, was asked by his team to swap positions with teammate Lando Norris after Norris had a slow pit stop at Monza. Piastri argued slow pit stops are part of racing before rather cordially surrendering his position. So they asked Piastri to let Norris go around him because Piastri had a slow pit. So, the writer says while McLaren might view it as correcting an unintended punishment, the team introduced a dangerous and frankly unnecessary precedent that will surely cause headaches in the future. Here's from Formula One. They tweeted out the incident.
What's going on with Lando Norris here? What's going on with Lando Norris? A slow stop and it counts. A 5.9 second stop and it counts. And that is going to eradicate the advantage. Piastri has had access to the softer tyres. The slow stop has cost Lando Norris track position. Through goes Oscar Piastri. And what could have been a 13-point loss in the early stages of the Grand Prix is suddenly the championship lead being extended by 3.
Front left, you could see it took a while. They weren't sure. They went back at it.
Wasn't done up properly, was it? The left front. The wheel gun man moved away, but fancied another stab at it.
But this is a bit like Hungary last year. We pitted in this order for team reasons. Please let Lando pass, then you're free to race.
I mean, we said that a slow pit stop was part of racing. I don't really get what's changed here, but we really went to do it. Then I'll do it.
Lando Norris.
So weird stuff there. Awful weird stuff. I don't know. I really don't know what was going on or why they made him do that. I also don't know why. Everything's working just fine here on YouTube. Huh. Interesting stuff. Sorry, the radio broadcasting software is not catching my mic now. Something weird. Anyway, Beck's banner. Now it's working. Weird stuff. Oh well. You have that on the big jobs sometimes, folks. I'll make sure it's working. I don't know. So if you're listening on Stream of Simple Radio, I'm back. I don't know what happened there. The beauty of going live. I think I know what I needed to do. Anyway. So yeah, F1, that's a weird strategy by McLaren. And you sometimes see, we saw it with Mercedes with Lewis Hamilton they would make Bottas, either get out of the way so Lewis could win because he had a better chance at winning the Drivers' Cup, versus Bottas, or they would ask Bottas to kind of play defense against somebody in third so they wouldn't be able to get the DRS system and overtake Lewis Hamilton. You don't often see the leader in the world standings being asked to give way to your teammate who's in second. So, I don't know. Odd stuff there. What are you going to do, folks? What are you going to do? We're going to go through some Major League Baseball scores. We are getting to the exciting part of the season. I know they say that every night that I go live. But before we do that, before we take a break, a little funny clip from Carlos Alcaraz as he's accepting the championship. And this kind of plays into what I was saying about their history.
I'm seeing you more than my family. So it's, Jesus. So it's, I mean, it's great to share the court, to share the locker rooms, to share everything with you, watching you improve every day, working really hard with your team, really great people around. So I just congratulations for everything you're doing and the great performance during the whole week.
I'm seeing you more than my family, and that's not far-fetched. I went through it. It seems like they're the only two in the championships now. We've got some dominance. I think the tennis world was worried at one point that they're not going to have any stars, and these two young guys emerged. And I think tennis is in good hands. And you're in good hands. Stick around. Beck's Banter live on North American Talk Radio. Be back in about 2.5.
Want tickets for less while helping grassroots radio? Well, at North American Talk Radio, we've partnered with a top ticketing platform to give our listeners the best prices to all the best events. Whether it's a concert, theater performance, or a sporting event, North American Talk Radio has you covered. Go to natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu. Watch all your favorite events in person. That's natalkradio.com or .us and click the Event Tickets tab on the menu.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Are you ready to place bets? Join MyBookie today and discover exciting opportunities. North American Talk Radio has partnered with the cutting-edge gambling platform to offer unique bets, several ways to play and win, and you can even use crypto to play. MyBookie offers a seamless platform for all your gambling needs, and MyBookie has you covered with a vast array of options. Explore their different markets and bet types. There's something for everyone. Discover MyBookie's special introductory offer by using North American Talk Radio's special promo code, which is 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, and you'll get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. MyBookie offers a thrilling experience, so sign up today and be sure to use the promo code 120Z Sports, all caps, no spaces, for huge cash bonuses. Get in the game and good luck.
BetUS and North American Talk Radio have partnered to bring you the preferred betting platform in the United States, and you will get a deposit bonus of up to 150% if you use promo code 120Z. Take it from me, I'm a cowboy and a gambler. I wrangle my bets on BetUS, and I use the promo code 120Z to get free money. Yee-haw! That's BetUS and promo code 120Z. Now giddy up.
Welcome back. Beck's Banter live on North American Talk Radio. Now on all the locations. I'm not sure what happened with the radio broadcasting software, but we stayed current on YouTube, so that's good. Since we had back-to-back gambling commercials just now, I thought I'd give you the updated Super Bowl odds in the NFL. Bills and Ravens were co-favorites. But after the Ravens squandered a 15-point lead with 5 minutes to go, the Bills are now the favorite, plus 550. Ravens dropped to plus 650. Eagles plus 700. All right, Packers plus 800. Chiefs plus 1,000. Okay? Can you imagine? Chiefs are plus 1,000. It's good money. Lions didn't look good yesterday. They're plus 1,400. Niners plus 1,600. Chargers plus 1,800. I know a lot of talking heads think the Chargers are the favorite in their minds. Commanders look pretty dominating again against the Giants. They're plus 1,800. The Bengals, with the narrow escape against Cleveland, probably should have lost plus 2,000, and the Rams are plus 2,000. So since we had back-to-back gambling ads, I thought I would go over that with you. Our gambling sponsor, MyBookie, it's MYBOOKIE.ag. Could use the promo code 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces, deposit bonus up to $1,000. Or Bet US if you like if you don't like the offshore, you can go Bet US. Promo code 12OZ, those are capitalized letters. Deposit bonus up to 150,000 or 150%, 150,000. Jeez, that would be a lot. Looking at Major League Baseball, and this is fitting. I don't know if my Guardians are going to make it. Probably not. I mean, they're 2.5 out. There's time, right? They're 6-4 in their last 10. I feel like now they're going to start playing well and just miss it. They lead the Royals in the bottom of the fourth, 5-0. I don't want to jinx our pitcher, but there's a no-hitter going right now. And we also have the bases loaded with only 1 out. So we could be putting one on the Royals tonight. Bottom of 4, the Nationals lead the Marlins 2-1. Top of 4, Phillies lead the Mets 1-0. After 2 innings, the Braves lead the Cubs 3-0. And then we have a whole slew of games later tonight. But if you're like me, we're going to be watching Monday Night Football. Maybe you have 2 TVs in your living room like I do. You could put a Major League Baseball game on. Standings-wise, the Jays lead the East by 2 over the Yankees. Yankees are surging a little bit. 7-3 in their last 10. Yankees being the Yankees now. And they've got a little momentum going. And the Red Sox are only 3.5 out. Looking at the Central, the Tigers, they're kind of doing the opposite of what the Guardians were doing recently. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They do hold a comfortable 8.5 and 9 game respective lead over the Royals and Guardians. But again, the Guardians are probably looking at fighting for that wild card. And they should leapfrog the Royals today. They're going to be keeping an eye on the Rangers, Mariners, Red Sox, and Yankees. But you got to keep winning. They're up 6-0 now. But we have a lot of games later tonight. And this is the time of year where, it gets more and more urgent to win. Looking in the West, the Astros lead the way by 2.5 over the Mariners. Of course, like I just said, the Mariners 6-4 in their last 10, though. And they lead the Cubs by 7.5. Here's an interesting thing, though. They lead the Reds by 16.5 in the Central. But the Reds are kind of smack dab in the middle of a wild card race here. They are not out of it. They're 4 out, but they're not out of it. The wild card teams right now, again, Yankees, Red Sox, Mariners, National League, Cubs, Padres, Mets. But this is when it gets fun, I think. I don't watch a ton of baseball until almost playoff time. Dodgers only leading the Padres by 1 game. And interesting enough, the Dodgers and Padres are both 3-7 in their last 10. Man, if the Padres could just be 5-5 in their last 10, they'd be leading the West. Worst team in baseball, the Colorado Rockies, 40-103. My goodness. I'm going to look up, because I'm just interested, worst seasons in MLB history. Now, I know the White Sox were kind of in that hunt last year. Well, see, I don't like this list because a lot of these teams, modern era, because a lot of those teams didn't have to play 162 games. White Sox were the 5th worst season in Major League Baseball history. and this is going by win percentage. So they were 253. The worst ever was 235. Rockies are 280. So that would put the Rockies, well, why aren't these numbered? So I'm going to have to count on air. That's good radio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That would put the Rockies as the 14th worst season if they stayed where they're at 280. Whew. In this day and age. But if you look at the modern era, number 5 is the White Sox 2024. Tigers in 2003 were terrible, 265. The Orioles in 2018 were 290. The Tigers the next year in 2019 were 292. So we've had some, teams since the players' union's taken over with bigger salaries and, guys jumping teams. We've had some teams in that era that either didn't want to spend the money or couldn't get the players to come to them and had some terrible, terrible seasons. The worst season ever, by the way, the Cleveland Spiders, 1899. 20 wins, 134 losses, a 130 win percentage. And I love how they put games back in the standings. They were 84 games back in the standings. Nice season, guys. Dear God. WNBA, let's go to that action. We do have a game tonight. Dream are beating the Sun 26-24. In the standings, the Minnesota Lynx, they have clinched the league's best record, 33-9. We are looking for the Storm or the Sparks to make the playoffs. The Indiana Fever clinched a playoff berth and won the Commissioner's Cup. Okay, I don't know why they need to note that. So it's down to the Storm and Sparks right now. The Storm lead the Sparks by 1.5. So let's see when they play. So the Sparks play tomorrow night at 10. The Storm also, but different teams, get different games. So get a little race there. A little race there in the WNBA. You got two really good teams there, though, so don't expect too much. Let's go to the MLS. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty for them as well. Philadelphia Union lead the East by 5 points over Cincinnati. Charlotte, Nashville tied at 50 points. In the West, San Diego FC leads Minnesota 56-51 in points earned. The Whitecaps, Sounders, and LAFC around that top 5 out, although Austin's tied with LAFC in fifth. I'll get it right. The dog is pacing and losing his mind. I don't know why. No games today in the MLS. So there you go. Around the horn. College football. I love it. Let's get back into the rankings before we leave. Looking at the top 25, Ohio State. This is the AP poll now. The AP top 25. I'll tell you if there's anything different versus the coaches poll, and I will tell you right now there is a lot of difference between AP and coaches poll. The AP top 25, Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, Oregon, Miami. The coaches poll, it's Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, then LSU, then Oregon. So the AP poll thinks that Oregon is 5, LSU is 4, and who slid down there to get out of the way of Georgia is Miami. So I don't know what they're basing that on. Georgia did not look very convincing Saturday. Next 5 in the AP, Georgia, Texas, Notre Dame, Illinois, Florida State. So Texas stayed at 7 with a 31-point win over San Jose State. So that's not the worst win. I would hope they would pull in Alabama. Say, okay, we lost our opener. We're going to come out and blow the doors off of a much lesser opponent, the 0-2 Spartans of San Jose State. I mean, they're up 28-7.5, but kind of a lackluster second half for the Longhorns, and it didn't look like they really tried to pour it on. It didn't hurt them in the polls, though. They stayed at 7. Next 5, South Carolina, Clemson, with not a very impressive win over Troy. Oklahoma with the big win over Michigan jumps 5. Iowa State and Tennessee, that gets us to 15. Next 5, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, South Florida, Alabama moves up 2. Utah moves up 5. Utah's now number 20 in the nation. They've blown 2 teams out, UCLA 43-10, but then Cal Poly, I don't know if that counts, 63-9. And that's a game you should win big, right? Then the final 5, Texas Tech, Indiana, who doesn't impress me. Michigan dropped 8. Auburn and Missouri jump into the poll. And, of course, Missouri, the interesting note there, not only did they beat their rival Kansas 42-31, but I don't know if you saw it, a guy with a prosthetic leg won the, whatever you want to call it, raffle to try to kick a field goal for $25,000, I think it was. Instead of that, he wrote FKU, F Kansas, pulled his shirt up to show the sideline and the crowd. The crowd went wild. It was at Missouri. And then instead of trying the field goal for $25,000, he turned and kicked the ball towards the Kansas bench and then showed his message on his chest again. I mean, in my eyes, maybe he knew he couldn't make the field goal, but wouldn't you at least try, like, pull your shirt up, says FKU, then make the field goal for $25,000, and then turn back, pull the shirt back up, FKU. That would have been a bigger flex. Instead of, I mean, he kicked the ball towards the bench, but it just kind of slow like molasses rolled over there. That didn't really do anything. A bigger flex would have been to win the $25,000 in between showing the message on your chest, would it not? You would have thought. One would have thought. To each their own. We all make our own individual decisions. And then Auburn's in the top 25 after a 14-point win over Baylor and a 42-3 win over Ball State. For a point of reference, though, my Purdue Boilermakers beat Ball State 31-0. Right? So Auburn is, in theory, 9 points better than Purdue, who was picked to maybe win one game. They're 2-0. We'll find out about Purdue here soon enough. Soon enough. USC, Saturday, 3:30. I'm looking forward to it. Then they got to go to Notre Dame. Dear God, their schedule looks scary. Anyway, that does it. Beck's Banter live on North American Talk Radio. If I seem low energy, I apologize. A little tired today, but we'll be back tomorrow. We'll bounce back. It'll be fine. Stay calm. You stay calm. Get your rest. I'll talk to you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Have fun watching Monday Night Football. Should be a great one. J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. Caleb Williams in the Baz. Take it easy. Have a great Monday night. Peace.